Hi everyone, welcome back to our Chinatown Soup Tea channel. Today we're going to do a quick introductions of opening up a puer brick. So this is one of my favorite bright puer brick. It's from 1999. It's a Kunming Factory Laser Brick Shu Puerh or Shu Puerh. So you can see that I'm inserting my puer knife into the side because the compressions of bricks are much more heavier than your regular binta or tea cakes. The bricks are compressed by usually a machine, and you can see the compressions is so much more stronger. So what you want to do is look into the two wider side of the brick and slowly insert your puer knife into the sections of it, just like this, slowly, not going through all the way. What you want to do is to ply away the layers of kicks. You do it horizontally and then you do it the short side of it, usually the front and the back of that. What you want to do is to kind of remember how a brick or tea cake is pressed. They were pressed by layers of leaf horizontally. So you want to do it horizontally. A lot of people just like saw it out or using hammers, and you don't really want to do it like the culinary world. If you're making a salad and you use a knife to chop off the greens, the cutting through the cells doesn't create a better taste than hand tossing or hand bricking a salad. So it's the same when you have opened the halfway, and you can kind of see how the leaf is compiled and how it was aged. So this is the last productions of the laser brick, and I'm sort of very familiar with this cake, and I love this cake for every day or even the special occasions. You can see the layers and you can see the aging of the cake when you open it up in the middle. So you can kind of see how the exterior of the cake and the interior of the cake have been aged. And when you are gentle enough, you won't see scratch mark. Usually comes in white little scratch marks. So you can see that it's pretty much layer by layer. Of course, you're gonna have to crumble some of them. So take a look at that, and you can see a lot of different items in those cakes. And that is because back in before 2000s, these are still big factory cakes, and the productions are not as, I would say, refined or careful as nowadays special productions. And if you open up a cake and you don't see like little, hay or grass or sometimes nylons, linings, and sometimes you see seeds and stuff like that in it, that is really not from the 1990s or before that. You will really see the raw productions of those cakes back in the days, and stamps and all that, and that's really adding the flavor back in the day. So this is actually a recipe 7581, a very famous coke puer recipe. And now once you have it plied into half, you can really easily break that into smaller sections. And what I'm doing is trying to break it into maybe 5 to 6 gram pellets, which then is easy for me to brew it. I can just pick 1 or 2 or 1.5 to brew per session, so 5 grams or 7 grams or 6 grams of tea. So you want to really break a cake like this when you're really already done aging it, and you want to really just taste it every day. And again, you can see some hair sometimes. It's okay, don't freak out on those things. Is what it is, right? So when you break it all together, then you can kind of mix the sessions, because the outer layers usually on the corner is more mature and the interior is much more dense, which is less mature. You want to then now mix it all together when you brew your tea. So applying this kind of function is much interesting, because then you really understand how the kick is made or the brick is made, and you can see different part of it have different density to it, and how the corner is aged differently than the other part of the kick, and you can really see the interior of it. That's really where I really want to aim for. So you break it all this up, and then you can actually store it, of course, without sunlight, and you want to, mix it all together after you're done, and really just be careful about using a knife, a pool knife, or sharp objects. I'm really familiar with my little daggers, which I love. So here you go. Look how beautiful these nuggets are now. So hope you enjoy. Give us a comment if you want to learn more about this. Thank you.